Some big Liverpool news has just broke. Let's break it down. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Liverpool fans, this is the update you've been waiting for, because one of the club's most exciting young defenders is finally on the road back. Giovanni Leone's Liverpool career looked like it was over before it even began. On his very first outing under Arne Slot, the 19-year-old suffered a devastating ACL injury, the kind that sidelines players for the best part of a year and raises serious questions about their development. But now, there's a major twist. Leone is back out on the grass. The Italian centre-back has posted images from the AXA training centre showing him working with a ball again, a huge step forward in his recovery. He's not in full training yet, and there's still a long road ahead before he's cleared for contact, but this is the clearest sign yet that he's on track for a return in time for pre-season. And the message he posted says everything. Everything happens for a reason. That mindset hasn't gone unnoticed either. The Liverpool dressing room has rallied around him in a big way. Hugo Ekitike commented, "Soon back, my little brother," while Stefan Bajcetic, who knows all about injury setbacks, urged him on with "Let's go, brother." Even senior names like Ibrahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk's defensive partners, along with Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch, showed their support, a sign of just how highly rated Leone is behind the scenes. And here's where it gets really interesting. Liverpool are already planning for the future of their defense, and Leone is a big part of it. With Ibrahima Konate's contract situation still needing resolving and uncertainty around Joe Gomez, the club are quietly building a new generation at centre-back. Add in the arrival of Jeremy Jacquet, and suddenly Leone's return couldn't be better timed. Of course, the club will be careful. There's no rushing an ACL recovery, especially for a 19-year-old with his entire career ahead of him. But being back on the pitch, even in a limited capacity, is a massive milestone. So heading into pre-season, Liverpool might not just be welcoming back a player, they could be unleashing one of the next big defensive stars. In other news, uncertainty has a way of amplifying every result, every performance, and every decision. And at Liverpool, that tension is now impossible to ignore. The scrutiny surrounding Arne Slot has intensified dramatically in recent weeks, with frustration spilling over from the stands at Anfield into broader conversations about the club's direction. Yet, despite the growing noise and visible supporter unrest, one of the most authoritative voices in football journalism has delivered a message that cuts directly against the prevailing narrative. According to David Ornstein, Liverpool's hierarchy have no intention of parting ways with their head coach. Speaking on the Athletic FC podcast, Ornstein stated plainly that there is no thought to changing coach, reinforcing the idea that internally the club's stance remains stable even as external pressure mounts. In an environment where speculation often outpaces fact, that level of clarity carries significant weight. This is not to suggest that concerns have been dismissed. Far from it. Liverpool's campaign has fallen short of expectations, both in terms of performances and consistency. Slot, as the figurehead of the team, inevitably finds himself at the center of that disappointment. The drop-off has been noticeable, and for a fan base accustomed to competing at the very highest level, patience has understandably worn thin. Boos at Anfield are not easily earned, but once heard they tend to signal something deeper than a run of poor results. Compounding the uncertainty is the broader context within the club's leadership structure. Figures such as Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes are also facing questions about their long-term roles, creating an atmosphere where multiple pillars of Liverpool's project appear, at least from the outside, to be under review. In such circumstances, it is only natural that attention turns most sharply toward the manager. And yet, Ornstein's reporting suggests a very different internal reality. Rather than contemplating a change in the dugout, Liverpool are instead focused on evolution, specifically on reshaping the squad to better suit Slot's tactical profile. The emphasis, as outlined, is on recruitment. The club's priority is to provide their head coach with the profile of squad to succeed, indicating a belief that structural adjustments, rather than managerial upheaval, are the correct path forward. It is a stance rooted in longer-term thinking. Slot's credentials are not in doubt within the club. His previous success, including guiding Liverpool to the league title in his debut campaign, remains a significant factor in how he is judged internally. That achievement has not been forgotten, even if it now feels distant in light of current struggles. More importantly, it has shaped the perception of him as a coach capable of delivering at the highest level when given the right tools. This is why he is expected to play a central role in upcoming recruitment decisions. Rather than being sidelined amid uncertainty, Slot is positioned as a key architect of Liverpool's next phase. It's a clear signal the club are not preparing for life after him, they are planning with him. That said, the situation is far from straightforward. Reports emerging from Germany, particularly via journalist Axel Hesse, have painted a very different picture. Claims that Xabi Alonso could be lined up as a successor have added fuel to the fire, especially given Alonso's rising reputation following his work at Bayer Leverkusen. The suggestion that he is expected to arrive introduces a layer of intrigue that cannot be entirely dismissed, particularly when it comes from a source with a track record of credible reporting, including breaking the news of Florian Wirtz's move to Anfield. Interestingly, Ornstein's comments were edited out of the YouTube version of the podcast in which they originally appeared. Whether that detail is meaningful or merely coincidental remains unclear, but it adds yet another subtle twist to an already complex narrative. In modern football, where messaging is often carefully managed, even small discrepancies can spark significant speculation. Ultimately, both realities can coexist, at least for now. Liverpool may well be committed to Slot in the present moment, while still keeping contingency plans in mind. It would be naive to assume otherwise at a club of this scale. However, there is also a practical dimension to consider. With the season still alive on multiple fronts, including deep runs in both the Champions League and FA Cup, alongside the pursuit of a top 5 Premier League finish, any public indication of managerial uncertainty would be deeply counterproductive. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.